This video was recorded right after the game, had a few things I had to deal with, but nonetheless, enjoy. What a pathetic performance by Team Lioness. So let's just talk about this. So I watched the third place game, and you might think that Kenya will have learned from the mistakes of the past, from the 4 games that they had, but we were all wrong because we came to realize that the team will never change, regardless of the opposition. So South Sudan, this was the second time we are meeting them in this same tournament, and the first time they beat us, despite them having the most inefficient and ugly game, they were able to beat us. Now in this game, it was different because they knew Kenya, how the team is structured, and they knew what type of offense and defense to place. So right off the bat, South Sudan went ahead and had a quarter-high 32 points in the first quarter, digging Kenya in the biggest hole that they could possibly not be able to dig in. The biggest hole they couldn't be able to dig out from. And from then, it was just piling on the points. And there was always a 10-point, 11-point buffer between Kenya and South Sudan. And South Sudan were able to withstand that. And they also added to the final points tally and subsequently led to Kenya just losing this game. And the final score was 80-63. It was a 17-point beat down, and I must say this is the most disappointing, and this is the lowest Kenya, the Team Lioness, has ever looked. This is a stark comparison to what we saw last time, because last time Kenya were able to beat South Sudan twice, and looking at even the scores, they were not even close games. But if you look at this year, you can see that the ultimate regression of the Team Lioness is evident because we were not able to beat South Sudan, we were not able to beat Uganda. Those are teams that were able to dominate. The only team that were able to dominate was Burundi, and Burundi were not a strong side, and they didn't even make it. They didn't even place because they went 0-4 in the group stages, subsequently getting knocked out. And looking at Kenya, we were the fourth place team, and of course we had to match up against South Sudan. So this was one of the most embarrassing performances ever. If I compare it to the 2023 Afrobasket qualifiers, you saw that Kenya went up winning 3 straight before getting stopped by Egypt and finishing with a 4-1 record after beating South Sudan twice in the third place game, subsequently getting bronze. We got bronze the other time. This year we finished 4th. We didn't even get the bronze we didn't even defend the bronze title that we had the other time. So congratulations to Uganda. They were able to go ahead and beat Egypt. And right now, as we speak, the 2 nations that will be representing, they'll be there in the Afrobasket, not Zone 5. From Zone 5 is Uganda. But from the tournaments that we've had, it's Angola and Uganda who got the tickets. They got the boarding pass to be able to represent in the Africa Women's Afrobasket, the biggest stage in the continent for women's basketball. So Kenya will miss out on that, and I must say the players are not apologetic about it. I can even say they are okay. They're okay with the result. Even I made a video talking about the Egyptian game. This is the game that took them apart, and it ultimately led them to fail in this game. So this game was not close at all. There were 0 lead changes. The biggest lead was set by South Sudan with 24 points. The biggest scoring run set by still South Sudan with 13, and they led this game for 39 total minutes. So there was no point where Kenya was able to even change or even get a lead, similar to what we saw in Egypt, the Egyptian game. So there's that. And Kenya, the shooting woes just continued. Actually, this game, it was the worst because we shot 29% from the field. And this one tells you everything that you need to know, because there's that strong reliance on the useless players that I've been mentioning. And I'm going to get to them, and I'm going to deconstruct them one by one. So shooting-wise, we shot 33% from the field, which was very poor and pathetic, and shot 23% from downtown. So that's unacceptable. You can't go ahead and shoot those percentages and expect to win. And if you look at even the South Sudanese team, they're not that efficient, but they're able to knock down the shots in a timely manner. And they're able to knock down the ball at a 30% clip. So that is below average, because the best way to be able to get up on them points for Kenya was at least match them threes, but they couldn't. So South Sudan were able to knock it down at a 30% clip from three, and they're able to shoot 38% from the field. Even despite South Sudan's poor shooting form, they were still able to get up on Kenya on them points. And the most interesting thing was the South Sudanese ability to knock down their free throws. So this was the most interesting stat because they went to the free throw multiple times and they shot at a 96% clip from the line. So that tells you that they are willingly taking those, drawing the fouls and going to the line and shooting, knocking down all the free throws. And that's the reason as to why the lead ballooned. And that's the reason as to why Kenya were not able to get back in this game even if they tried. So South Sudan are a big team, and they're able to out-rebound Kenya, 56 boards. They have 20 offensive boards and 36 defensive boards. So that tells you the utter domination that was witnessed there. The only statistics Kenya were able to dominate was assists and steals, but Uganda, no, not even Uganda. I don't even want to mention Uganda. But South Sudan were able to go ahead and block shots. They're very good rim protectors. And the interesting thing was South Sudan turned over the ball 20 times. At least Kenya reduced their turnovers because Natalie went down. So at least the turnover machine was not there. Because if had Natalie not gone down, Natalie would have turned over the ball like 8 to 10 times, similar to what we have been seeing. And that's just about it. So Kenya fouled this game 20 times, subsequently leading to that point spread ballooning. And majority of the points, South Sudan were just going up ahead and scoring from the free throw line. And that's the reason as to why they were able to get up on them points. So there's that. And it was, I can say it was a one-sided performance easily because of how the flow of the game. Because even with South Sudan's outburst in points in the first quarter, you could see Kenya tried to claw back, but it was they couldn't be able to cut the deficit. They were not able to cut the deficit in an efficient way. At least at some point when I was watching through the game, when South Sudan were up like 17, Kenya was able to cut the lead to about 5-6 points. Then after that, in the second half, because of the heavy minutes that the players are subjected to, the energy levels went down and subsequently led to South Sudan just going out there and outlasting Kenya. So one thing that I've seen that is evident in this team, they are not going to rotate their bench. There is no trust with the players. They only rely on the players who are very inefficient and have a very low basketball IQ. And that's the thing that even pointed out in the Kenya versus Egyptian game. It even showed like the way Egypt were able to balance minutes between all their players, and everyone was able to get a few touches. And it's not about even like forcing these players to play, but it's just about rotating, making sure that these players, their starters are fresh. So the problem with Kenya is when the game gets tough, they get hit to factory default. And what do? They resort to playing hero ball, and they insist that only as few selected players should play in that game, which majority of the time goes against our favor. And that's what happens. So at least Natalie got out of the game early. So at least we didn't see her turn over the ball too much. Margaret did not play. Esther did not. Ashley did not even play, man. She only played 2 minutes, 21 seconds. So Jemima, she was able to play at least 30 minutes. And I must say, she came in. The only reason as to why Jemima was able to play that much was due to the fact that Natalie went down. That's it. She would have ridden the bench like similar to the other times that she's been there. So there's that. So the players who didn't get regular playing time, like Elizabeth, Jemima, they were able to get some time to play because at least Natalie was injured, so they were not able to play. And Selena, she played 18 minutes. It's far removed from her inefficient plays that led to the team failing. So she didn't play that much. So the player that played the most minutes in this team was Masiwanyama, and she continued being inefficient. So let's start with Victoria. So Victoria played 33 minutes. She had 21 points, 8 of 14 shooting. and she had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 personal foul, 1 turnover, and 3 steals. And again, she was the worst player in the team. So one thing that I've seen with people who are supporting Victoria, they will ignore all the context and put like the fact that she had 21 points. That's it. They're not going to show you the minus 26, which is an important stat that people must look at, because you can't have 21 points in 33 minutes. That means that you're very inefficient and you don't even understand how to score. Yes, the stats might look pretty, but if you look at the times that she had to play, and if you look at her game and her impact to the team, it was a net negative, and that's why she got a plus minus from minus 26. Natalie, she played 14 minutes before she went down. She played majority of the first quarter, and yeah, I mean, she was 0 for 3. She did not have any points as per usual. She tried to make the 3, she couldn't. The only thing she could do is 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 personal fouls, 2 turnovers. That's it. And at least our turnovers did not skyrocket, because if Natalie was there, she's a bona fide turnover machine. This woman, can't even say she's a girl. This woman has the unique ability of turning over the basketball, and she's very good at it. And I can even say she's an expert at it, and she led the whole tournament in turnovers. So low IQ play, player who can't shoot, can't defend. And because she was used to playing heavy minutes, she got injured and she went down. So you see the minutes that she kept piling on herself and doing absolutely nothing on the court caught up to her. So that's the reason as why she didn't play. I can even say it was a blessing that she didn't play, because if she did, the South Sudanese team would have been able to go ahead and score on us and get to the 100-point mark. And you can even see Jemima when she went in and played. Okay, she didn't have the most efficient game, and I even saw her in the post-game presser, which I can say the coach and even the tournament knew, like, you can't bring Victoria there because she was not a good and efficient player. So they brought in Jemima there just to, because her stats, the way she played, she didn't even she never even got featured in anything media, so they just put her there. Anyway, Selena, 18 minutes played, 1 point, 0 for 7. The only point that she scored was from the line. That's it. And she had a plus minus from minus 19. So Natalie had a plus minus from minus 20 with 14 minutes of play. So that shows you like the negative impact of these players and this team. Then we have Belinda, 5 minutes played. She was just doing cardio in there, plus minus from minus 11. And she had 1 personal foul. So this is a player that is very old and should be written off from the national team. Rita Oluoch, she couldn't do anything. You know, hustle does not win you anything. Hustle gets you nowhere. So that's the reason as to why even her score looked like that. You could see in about 20 minutes of play, she was 1 of 4 with 4 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 personal fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block. So can't impact the game with that like that when you can't bring for us wins anyway. Vilma, she was listed as a DNP in the Egyptian game, and she played 10 minutes in this one. Unfortunately, she had 3 points. She was 1 of 4, just doing virtually nothing with a plus minus from minus 10. And Masiwanyama again, even despite her playing heavy minutes, the previous game she played 40 minutes. This one she played 35. Virtually useless. I mean, she was 5 of 12, and she only had 12 points in this game. And she was 2 of 3 from the line. And she had a plus minus of a minus 22. So very useless. Margaret did not play. Christine Akinyi, 22 points. I didn't know 22 points. 22. Christine Akinyi, she played 23 minutes. She had 8 points. She was 2 of 10. And she was 0 for 4 from 2-point field goals. She was 2 of 6 from downtown and 2 for 2 from the line. So, yeah, that was just pathetic. Jemima Mondi, the stat that was the worst was that 3 of 12. So you can see there are no 3-point shooters in the team. And that's just about it. She played 30 minutes, 13 points. You know, she had 7 boards, 5 assists, 2 personal fouls, 1 steal. That's it. And that's the reason that's why she got featured. It's not because she had a very good tournament. It's just that she had only one good game, and that was it. So the team was in total disarray, and they didn't go to the line that much. And from the three, we couldn't do anything. Even with the victorious 2 of 6 from downtown, couldn't do nothing. And you could just see that this team is just built to fail. And this is a team that has no ability to compete against South Sudan. Because if you look at how South Sudan were able to play, they were very different. And you can see this Delicia Washington from South Sudan, she was able to go ahead and do everything that she wanted on the court. And in this game, she was unstoppable. She dropped 25 points on Team Lioness. You know, this tells you everything that you need to know. Like, we don't have the ability to. We don't have good defenders on the team. You don't have good. You don't have good quality players. You have depth, but you don't have quality, and that's the main reason as to why we fail, and that's the main reason as to why Kenya is always regressing every year. And with that one, you're seeing the usual suspects. Continue to embarrass our country. These people are not patriots. These are people who are a waste of time, and these are people who do not care about Kenyan basketball. They don't care about rankings. They don't care about finishing. They don't care about competing, because I will be okay if at least the games were close. But the way we looked, I can even say Burundi and Kenya were the worst teams in this tournament. The only teams that came and were prepared were Uganda, and actually Uganda was a shocker. Uganda, Egypt, and South Sudan. Actually, South Sudan didn't look prepared, but the way they played, it was good enough to be able to get the third place. And even dating back to what we saw in 2023, you can see South Sudan got their sweet revenge on us, and also Uganda got their revenge on us, because, we couldn't keep our mouth shut. The Kenya Lioness couldn't keep their mouth shut. They were just moving and taking on the high road and looking like they are the best team in East Africa. But they've been slapped back to reality by Uganda and South Sudan. I can even say Kenya cannot even be the best team in East Africa. It can't, because the far that we have regressed. We have seen players fail and flop at every turn. We have seen people continue to play poorly. We have seen there's a lack of development. And these players, by the way, should be subjected to media when they fly back. So normally when we have poor performances, these players have a tendency of sneaking back into the country. So they should not be let to sneak back into the country. And that's one thing that I even said. I even called for media day when the Team Morans went to the Afrobasket qualifiers last year. And I said, these players, when they come back, they should do media. And we should ask them questions, because they have evaded accountability. Coach Mayenga is a fraud. Coach Sylvia Kamau is a fraud. These are two people who are supposed to be fired after this. But because of the incompetent basketball federation being led by Paul Otula and Angie, who's a pathetic liar, they'll continue propagating this stupidity and mediocrity that is in the team. So this whole run was a trash performance. It was a shit performance from Natalie, Victoria, Selena, Belinda, Rita, Vilma, Mercy. All of them were just shit. And I must say, this was it was embarrassing. When I was watching the game, I was getting second-hand embarrassment. And even in the previous videos, I was apologizing to even the people who watch this video, even the people at large, saying, I apologize for this poor performance. I know these players are taking the high road and they're not going to open up and say that, hey man, we played poorly. They're not going to say that. And even you can see the body language in the post-game pressers. George Menga can't even look up. It's embarrassing. He's embarrassed because these players do not care about Kenya. He even said these players only care about the money. They only care about, the allowance. They only care about filling their passport. Just boarding a plane. That's what excites these players. And just saying, once I played for Team Lioness, we flew to Cairo, we played here, but they will not tell you the result. They finished number 4. Then the number 4 will look like it's so big. Like, I went ahead and we finished number 4 out of 5 countries. We finished number 4. Then they try to sell you that. I mean, You just know, if you go back and if you go back and check out the statistics and do the research, you will see it for yourselves. These are players who are very useless. I mean, starting from Natalie, somebody who should just retire. Even I wrote it down in the official Basketball 254 group by Apache. I said some players like Natalie, Selena, Belinda should just retire. Vilma, just retire, man. You're wasting your time here. And it's unfortunate that you still play for KPA. You should just retire from the sport entirely, because you have nothing that you're bringing to this game. There's nothing that you brought to the Team Lioness. And you have shown time and time again you are low IQ players. Even Victoria, I'm going to put there. I've seen like a couple of videos floating around of her playing. But if you look at when it really matters, she's a shit player. I must say, she's just shit. Even Masiwanyama, just trash. It was a trash performance. How can you justify playing 36 minutes and you only give us 12 points on 5 of 12 shooting? What is that? The coach does not understand that he needs, or even doesn't even know that you need to rotate your bench. Don't even know that. And it's pathetic. And one thing I even noticed in the South Sudan versus Kenya matchups, South Sudan, similar, they play like Kenya, but at least their shots fall. And even the players who play heavy minutes, they actually contribute, because you can see Delicia Washington, she played 37 minutes, she had 25 points, she was 44% from the field, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 pass for foul turnover, plus 25. So you can see, even with her minutes, you could see she can justify her performance. She was 1 of 4 from 3, and she was 8 of 8 from the field. Then the other player who played heavy minutes, Adut Bulgak, 32 minutes, 12 points, 11 boards. You can see the 11 rebounds. Even you see the Delicious Washington's 7 boards there. So these are players who are actually contributing, and they are helping. But Adut, she had 6 turnovers, so that's a very bad thing, and 4 personal fouls, so that was not good at all. But she has 2 steals and 2 blocks. So all around, she was able to compensate with those second chance points there from the boards. Then you can see Pydor Tenny, 28 minutes played, 18 points, 6 of 19 shooting. I mean, it was just a poor and embarrassing performance from Team Kenya. And the real reason as to why Team South Sudan were able to win was because of the free throw line. They were 25 of 26. They only missed 1 free throw, even despite their poor 3-point shooting night. This game was decided from the free throw line, because majority of the players in Team Kenya think that fouling equals good defense, and that couldn't be further from the truth, because if the team fouled 20 times, the turnovers went down, because at least Natalie did not play. I was actually happy when she came off. I was happy when she was not in the team for the remainder of the game, because had she come back, the team would have failed. I don't even understand why the coach, the players who play with her, even the KP organization, have never even called her out on her poor play. I'm not sure. What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of this player getting angry? So it's crazy. Even Selena, she's a shit player. Natalie's a shit player. Belinda is shit. Vilma is useless. Mercy should just go back to playing for Lithuania before BCC Laulai. Should just go back, because it's not working here in Team Kenya. Victoria, it's unfortunate that she tries to move around like a pro player, yet her game does not even look like that of a pro player, because it's easy for people to go ahead and show and pose like they are good, but if you look at it, when it comes down to it, they are just shit players, all of them. Christina Kinyi is trash. I don't even understand what she's doing on the team. I mean, she's just there to fill. So there's some players who are just there to fill like the roster spots. Somebody like Christine, Vilma, Rita, Belinda. The Team Lioness were falling short of options, so they just put them there to fill up the roster with quote unquote front court players who can't do anything. So I mean, that's an all-round pathetic performance. And I will come back with a video talking about the player ratings. You know how we do it on this channel. So these people are all frauds, being led by Coach Maenga, who is one of the most incompetent coaches to coach Team Lioness. I don't even understand what he's trying to do, because since 2021, the team won Zone 5 and went to the Afrobasket. That was the peak of the Team Lioness team. But since then, 2023 just been a regression. 2023, bronze. 2025, fourth place. I mean, we would have been the worst team in the tournament if it weren't for Burundi's poor plays. So, us and Burundi are on the same boat. Uganda, Egypt, and South Sudan are levels ahead of Kenya. And I don't think in any point in this lifetime we can be able to get to them. So, that's just about it. So, do drop me your comments down in the comment section. I will be doing player ratings, talking about these poor and pathetic players who are very useless, and they're the real reason as to why Kenya is a joke in the continent. And yeah, man, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.